I thought I would show you one of the things I collect. 'Cause, you know, I collect a ton of stuff. I really do, and I always find new things to collect or sort of that fascinate me. So one of the things I do collect are tintypes. Tintypes are a type of photography that was done usually in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and so you can buy these anywhere. But they're highly collectible. So the ones I usually buy are usually teenage guys, or usually teenage guys, because I think it's interesting. I think I identify with them as far as their story, and when I'm fascinated by them. So I have a small collection of them, but I thought I'd share them with you. And I have them in little wrappers, so you can see them. They fit right in your hand. Some of these are hand tinted, so let me pull this out just so I can show you this one a little bit better. Quite fragile, but quite beautiful too. You can see the hand tinting there, the rosy cheeks and the blue shirt, and the backdrop. There's the back of it. You can see it's actually tin. It's not paper. Really, I mean, the detail is really fascinating, but they're not like pristine. See, here's another one. This one's in pretty good shape. There's the back, and they're cut with tin snips, so they have sort of a bend to them. You can't get these wet. Here you can tell that there's a thing he's sitting on. Look at his face. So he's probably, I would say, 12. Again, his rosy cheeks have been tinted slightly to give it a little bit of color. If you look at the details, it reminds me of tarot cards. Look at the details, the hands, the fingers. How is he dressed? Sometimes they would borrow clothes from, because they were dressed, very poorly. Let's see this one. I'll tell you my favorite when I come to it. This one's been sort of beaten up a little bit. I have no idea how the history of this one's very clear. His boots are not very in focus, but his face is. He's got sticky out ears. There's no tinting on this one, but again, you can see the backdrop and the wooden chair. But the stories behind these are, who are they? How long did they live? So these are kind of my spooky. This one's in really good shape. They're kind of like my spooky friends. Here, I think there's maybe a little bit of tinting there. Look at that jacket, that oversized jacket. They're getting harder and harder to find as far as if you are looking for some. The Civil War ones are usually the most sought after, but I don't have any of those that I know of. There. I put them in these little card sleeves just to keep them away from the elements. This one's very well done, very clear, beautiful chair. We have the backdrop there. Back isn't rusting. It's tin. Tin really doesn't rust. It does corrode though. What is he dressed as? What is he looking at? Every once in a while I'll add to my collection. This is one of my favorites. It's not quite my favorite. My favorite is coming up. Actually, I'll save my favorite for last. So this one has been crumpled a little bit. He's got a ring on. It's tinted. Look at his hair. He's probably from a wealthy family. But all these are on tin. This one's cracked, so you got the emulsion on the front. You got to be aware of that because as it ages, if you bend it, it's not very malleable. It will crack and chip. So I handle these very delicately, as an archivist would. This one's not a very good quality one. Has some tinting there. It's not the sharpest. He has a little bowler hat on. What did he do? What did he do right after this picture was taken? What was his home life like? This one's a nice one. It's got some wear on it. Very stern face. I think there's a little bit of tinting there. Some of the tinting may have faded. It looks like his eye might be sort of turned in a little bit. The only thing I would clean this with is with a lint-free brush. Nothing else, because you really don't want to scratch it. This one's a little different because it's actually in a card, and it has some writing on it, which is really nice to have. March 29th, 1889, age 16 years, but it has no name. He has a cane, and this is a paper frame that this would have come in. I could take this out of this, but I think it would really mess up the whole meaning behind it because it has a beautiful... We have information now, and it's in really good shape. Tinted cheeks. Who was this person? Now this one is probably the next one I'm showing you. Let me get this in a little packet. These are polyester little packets, so they're archival quality. This kid, he's a younger one. He's not a teenager. I think I bought a bunch of these at once. You can see that chemical on the back. He was just enchanting. He's obviously in a photographer's chair with the tassels. We have a issue there, but his cheeks are tinted slightly. He's just sitting there with his little watch chain. He probably is no more than like 7 or 8. How long did he live? And my favorite one is actually my smallest one. I think the guy is absolutely charming and lovely. And his face is just... There's the back of it, and there's the front. So well dressed. He's a cutie. But this one's my favorite. Something about this one. I really like this one. Maybe the little bags under his eyes, his ears. It reminds me of me growing up, my ears sticking out. Yeah. He's my favorite. Look at how it's cut out too. Like it would have been in a frame. As you can kind of see a circle up at the top where it may have been in something, but who knows where this came from, who took it. I have no idea. But anyway, that's one of my weird collections. I guess it's not terribly weird, but I actually have 2 more coming in the mail. I usually, every year, I usually will add to it 1 or 2 just to keep my collection up because obviously I can't stop buying crap. But yeah, that's my little collection of Tintypes. My little collection. And there's my favorite guy right there. I thought I'd just share it with you because since I'm into photography, the whole history of photography fascinates me. So this kind of adds to my fascination. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching.